Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast. This week, starring Ryan, Terry, and Dee. You know how weird it must be to have a robot as a producer?
It's the way of the future.
Yeah, Isaac Asimov never saw this shit through, did he? He didn't think it through when he did his 3 Laws of Robotics. That was then used in all the films related to his robot stuff. You know. Anyway, welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast. Episode 94, he says, without checking the history. Yes.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Maybe it's 97, maybe it's 93, who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe it's 42. I mean, it will eternally be 42.
Oh God, no, please don't.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Sad that it had to come today.
I cannot believe we are moving to Hitchhiker's Guide of the Pod Galaxy.
It's an interesting start to the podcast, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Panda agrees.
Rip Douglas Adams. Pour out of 40.
Isn't that right, Panda? Yeah, I'm cuddling Panda.
Okay, sure. Well, we better get the names going. I'm Ryan, and then we've also got Terry.
Hey.
And we've got Dee.
Yep.
And we've got a panda.
Woo!
Believe it.
Panda's doing his whoop whoop arm.
Fair enough. And we've also got producer Craig, who's silent as always, but monitors the
Just
situation.
Yeah, it doesn't have a flag system or anything.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll listen and not get bored and walk out like he did on the Disco Elysium video that came out on Sunday.
It's like, oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
I can't blame him.
I mean, to be honest, he left at the introduction of Kuno, and well,
It got really interesting after Kuno. Except for you did a Scouse accent for half an hour.
yeah, you know what? And I've still got the sore throat to prove that.
You don't know why you chose Kuno over Scouse, but
Because Kuno is Scouse.
yeah.
Or at least as he was and voiced in that. So, Kuno. I'm not doing that again.
Hakuna
Can't do it
Matata?
again. Oh, what a wonderful phrase. It means fuck him in the dick. So, yeah, we'll stop with the Disco Elysium stuff because that'll be for next time. But we will move on to just the slight bit of odd gaming trivia. I mean, I wouldn't call it odd, but it was more forgot about for me. Odd gaming trivia.
Oh. Okay, what went into the black hole?
Well, nothing went into the black hole, but do you remember how last week, Dee, we were talking about void bastards? After we digressed about Card Hunter for like 20 minutes.
You talked about void bastards for a while, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was hyper that day, and I'm hyper today because I may have drank 2 cans of Relentless before starting. But well, what do you think? I did a Facebook rant about hating people who sit in there with their conspiracy theories.
You would love my nephew.
Would I?
He's a conspiracy theorist nut job.
Oh, give us an example.
No, just you talk to Brendan for like an hour and you'll figure it all out.
Ah, okay.
But I've already debunked. He did try to pull a flat world argument with me at one point. I kind of tripled that in about 5 minutes.
Did you tell him they had members all around the globe?
No, he said about the flat world, and I went, and it took me about 5 minutes to just, nope, not that one. But he likes talking to conspiracy theories anyway. It's his favourite subject. One of them.
Right, well, I'll shake that off.
Just shake it off.
Keep. Be like social distancing and keep conspiracy theorists at least 2 meters away from you. Not to be saved from the coronavirus, just so that when you do fling something at them, you can say, well, I was a distance away.
Well, the coronavirus was created by Bill Gates because he wants to put microchips in all of us through the vaccine.
Oh, yeah. Like I put on my Facebook post for that, it was, it's a plot point that even Hideo Kojima would have said, no, that's too much.
And Hideo Kojima doesn't really have limits almost.
No, he did have nanomachines that did control people, but it wasn't spread like a virus. It was spread like a vaccine. Oh my God. Now, that wasn't the odd bit of gaming trivia. Anyway, the other one was, I was talking about void bastards.
Void bastards.
And mentioned that about the smart AI, which is effectively the protagonist of the game. And notwithstanding the bit where I fucked up, poor research, Ryan, poor research. And I said to you, Dee, that the characters, or the prisoners, the clients, had no backstory. A little bit of a tiny lie. They do have a little bit of backstory in the form of the crime that they committed before they were dehydrated.
Ah.
But it's like a randomly, like everything else, it was procedurally generated. So it could be that they've been sentenced for 16 years for failing to pay their parking fine.
A little harsh.
Yeah, and the other one was skateboarding without permission. It's like that's how that goes. But the thing is, the voice of the AI, or I've forgotten the name of, but he sounded familiar. So I'd like to play a little trivia game with you on this. The voice of the AI was a Mr. Kevin Breitling. Now, slowly I'll explain a game that he's well known for, and your job is to guess what that game is.
Oh, okay.
It was a game about choice and free will. A game where its story may have been considered a parable. One that I've told you to give me the right answer now.
Oh, Stanley Parable.
Correct. Yeah, completely forgot.
It's not as good as the voice in Portal 2.
Oh, well. Which one? Ellen McLean as GLaDOS or
Not Gladys. Gladys was in for all of it, but the
J.K.
Portal 2
Simmons?
Is that his name?
Wheatley.
Yes.
Oh, Stephen Merchant. Yeah,
That's
him
the
as well.
one.
Wheatley.
Catch me, ow!
A good old bit of Wheatley.
Oh. To be honest, they all made that game
But,
in terms of the voice acting. Merchant,
well, I want
J.K.
to go to
Simmons.
Space.
Oh, not
Gotta go to
space again.
space.
No, not the Space Corps.
But space.
Nice timing.
So, yeah. So with that little bit of, I say odd gaming trivia. You see, a lot of these are just more odd gaming trivia has now become something that we may have forgot about on the last week's talk.
Or just some random.
Or
fact that
random
isn't
Terry
quite right.
thoughts.
Hey, random Terry thought. Yeah, we should add that as a feature.
Terryfold. Oh wait, no, I'm not going back.
You know how many times I look at my Steam list and see Portal and see 90 some odd % achievements completed?
Yeah, and then look, you see that 90-odd%, and you're like, and then you see the achievements, and you go, yep.
Oh, I know exactly which one I haven't done, and I know exactly why it's not done.
Well, no, 90 on Portal 1, it's the rocket scientist achievements, bronze, silver, and gold.
I didn't do Portal 1, so.
And Portal 2 is I need friends. We need to do the Chamber 4 without killing each other. It's multiplayer. It's the stuff I need.
Is it Professor Paul?
I need Professor Portal.
That's tough. It means you need to find someone who hasn't had the game before.
Yep. I've got 4 achievements left in Portal 2. Professor Portal and a whole bunch of co-op ones. Like, survive the entire thing without killing each other.
Oh yeah, that one is fucking awful. I mean, it's great once you get it. If you get it.
I have only one locked achievement for Portal 2.
Oh.
And it's the one that nobody wanted to help me with.
Which one was it?
Complete Course 4 with neither you nor your co-op partner dying.
Yeah.
That one is a bitch.
It is.
But I do have 1,
Especially that you gotta
2,
do
3,
velocity at one point.
4, 5, 6 achievements. 6 of the achievements are glowy achievements because only looks like none of them have more than 8%. 8.6% of the total people have that achievement.
How is friends list with benefits a gold achievement?
Where is it?
While playing co-op, hug 3 different people on your friends list.
Yeah,
I don't
I
see
don't
that
have
one.
that. I have that achievement.
What game is that for?
That's Portal 2.
How?
You managed to get it, I didn't.
Mine's not gold. Wait, maybe it is. It just doesn't show
Yeah,
up on that.
4.3% of players have this achievement.
I don't have Professor Portal, I don't have Still Alive. I don't have
That
Asking for Trouble. I
doesn't
don't have Friends
gold
List
to
with
me.
benefits.
It doesn't show as gold on the list for some reason, but on your Steam page for the game, it shows it there.
Yeah, I'm there. The only ones that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm on the wrong page. I'm on my Steam library page where it shows the achievements.
Hmm.
That's weird.
So do you want to do Still Alive at some point, Tara?
I don't know if any of us will even have it in us, especially now that we haven't played the game for 17,000 years.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah,
time I
because
played it was 2014, so.
Oof.
Well,
God,
I still have a lot of Atlas and Peabody. I've got 4 Atlas and Peabody achievements to get.
I have 5 achievements left. One of those is completing Test Chamber 10 in 70 seconds.
Done that.
I've got Schrodinger's catch. To catch a blue painted box before it touches the ground. Smash TV. I don't know why I haven't broken the 11 test chamber monitors yet. Party of 3. Find the hidden companion cube in co-op test chamber. That it stops. And then, of course, Still Alive.
Smash TV, only 3.9% of players have that achievement.
Wow.
So I'm assuming there's only 11.
There's one in each course.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's only 11 monitors to break.
Basically, if we go through Still Alive again, I need to go through and taunt. Remember to taunt GLaDOS in each map.
Well, if you manage to get through it, you would be better than 97.7% of players.
You know what surprises me?
Hmm.
That the one achievement that I'm missing, which is Still Alive, 2.3% of players have that achievement. But there's also Talent Show, which 2.5% of players have. And I find that one a hell of a lot easier to do than Still Alive.
Never lose a cube in Chamber 6.
Yeah.
Of the Immaterial gels. Yeah, we did that. I think me and you did that, Terry.
I don't know who I did it with. Probably you. It was either you. I think I did some of them with Matt, some of them with you, some of them with Steph. And I did do some with Chiz, but...
Well, yeah, we fucking stayed up to watch to do the early opening of it.
Yeah, because I didn't even know about Portal 2 about Portal until Portal 2 was about to release. Then somebody gifted me Portal 1 like an hour before the release of Portal 2, and I powered through Portal 1, beat the game, and said, "Yep, I'm getting Portal 2."
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. I was staring at I was sitting there watching for the early unlock, watching people unlock potatoes.
Yeah.
Granted, the game came out 6 hours early, but my god, it was worth it.
But yeah, what is it? I still have the potato somewhere because you get it as an unlockable thing. The badge that says you participated in the potato run.
Yeah, man, that was such a good ARG. Oh, I miss it. I miss good ARGs. But
am I new? What is ARG?
Alternate reality game. Basically, real world logic and puzzles hidden in the real world to progress a game storyline that is otherwise fictional. Current stuff now would probably, or the closest to like a current ARG that happened recently was the now Ingress is an AR game, as in an augmented reality game. It did have ARG components, but a bigger one would have been something like the Black Watchman, where it got to a stage where people could sign up and grant themselves security levels, which would determine their potential to get real life phone calls sent to them.
Oh, that one.
And some players could end up going for like the secret agent option, where they would have to go through a psychological and physical test to determine that they were sound of mind enough to then be globe-trotted around the world for limited time events. I mean, that kind of happened with the potato thing. Once people were starting to get too close to figuring out what was going on, they got, quote-unquote, kidnapped by Valve. By kidnapped, they got bed and board at a hotel near Valve's offices and sat there and was watching the ARG for the launch of Portal, which,
How do you feel? I'm a potato.
Well, apparently one of my friends has been playing Portal 2. On May 12th, they got the bridge building achievement.
Nice.
I did go through Portal 2 last year again. But I haven't gone through the co-op since we did it when it came out.
Same. Most of my stuff has been. I think they did add like one little extra set of chambers for an event somewhere down the line, but it wasn't part of the main co-op.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any achievement. Maybe one day we'll go back into that.
Yeah.
Do it as like a
could do it as a video.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. It'd be hilarious if we actually got Still Alive on tape.
Oh my god. just constantly
if all
cutting.
Of us did it. That would actually be a good like meme video of just us failing and getting frustrated and yelling at each other and
just us trying to get Still Alive between us.
That's a very frustrating achievement. Yeah. And I hate to say it, D, but whoever gets stuck with you is going to get very frustrated a lot.
Yeah. it's why no one is like, "Do you want to do Still Alive?" And everyone just went, "No."
I've
Everybody,
seen it. I've heard excitement of people just going, "Oh yeah, let's do Still Alive," and it just immediately peter out like a fucking Big Dipper.
no. Every time I wanted, when I was hardcore into this game, which was like the week that it released,
Yeah.
which is pretty much when we got all the achievements. We pretty much just beat like everything in the first couple weeks that it was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I did.
Yeah.
Me and you guys all sort of worked through all the achievements. I helped out a bunch of people after I'd gotten the achievements, redoing them. And then every time I was just like, "Let's do Still Alive." No. Let's do Still Alive. No. Let's do Still Alive. No. And then we tried it a few times, failed. No.
Yeah.
I do like that. Sorry, kind of another random thought. That the Steam list can be sorted by time,
Yeah. No.
like how long you've been, like you played something, so you can
Mm.
sort of look back, and it reminds
See,
you of what you were doing back then. Do you want to know
it
the
also
scariest
feels
part? You guys all got into Payday 2 pretty hardcore.
Yes.
for a
The
while.
last time I played Payday 2 is 2014.
Wow. So much was added since then.
Yep.
Like a
Like literally,
storyline and guns.
the last time I played that was the same time as I played Portal 2. Like the same year that I played Portal 2 and Left 4 Dead 2 and Guns of Icarus.
Oh God. I barely. Yeah, Guns of Icarus was the airboat one.
Oh, and the other big game that was the last time I played it in that year. 2014 was a big year for me. Warface. That was the last time I played Warface.
Oof.
I think 2014. If you look at like the amount of games that I played after 2014, my games teetered off big time.
Mm.
But I think that was a lot of that had to do with going into StarCraft 2, playing Minerals, and League of Legends. A lot of games were starting to pull us out of out of Steam at that point. And
Yeah.
then 2016, 2017, they started to come back. 2018, they came back a little bit too.
Yeah, definitely. Just like, and that was. It's sort of like, yeah, like Steam had such a grip on PC gaming in those
Actually,
early 2010s, and then
rewind in time, Chiz. In 2014, like give or take 2015, what
yeah,
happened? I think you moved out of your house and moved in with Martin.
it was around that time.
Because that's sort
Or
of when that's when everything slowed down big time. Because you weren't on Ventrilo at the time very much.
mm-hmm.
And so it just, everything sort of died down for a little while. And then once you started to get everything sorted out and figured out and your new routines in place, which took a good year at least.
Yeah, employment was sort of my like priority quest.
Yeah, and then you didn't have the energy to do anything. Plus, having the distractions in the background was just hard. This has
Yeah.
become a very random podcast.
Yeah,
Memory Lane.
yeah, the memory
There's
lane
the name.
podcast.
There's the name for the podcast.
Yeah, perfect. Get that wrote down. There we go. So, while we're on some memory lane, I'll say that was an attempt at a segue, which was awful.
Hmm.
Let's go from long-term memory to short-term memory. There we go. Let's go to
Okay.
what's been played. What's been played?
Yeah, who's going first?
Yes, we
Well,
can start from the top.
mine and
So-
Danny's are kind of the same, so I'll do the one part that I know Danny's been doing, which is Minecraft. Pretty much this
Uh,
last week to
Yeah.
2 weeks.
While you've been away, I've bought Control and started playing Control. So I'm going to talk about Control.
Which
Yeah.
I'll join in on that bit as well. Then that'll make it easy enough because that's the thing I wanted to talk about as well. So yeah, here's our order. Terry and Dee will talk about Minecraft, and then me and Dee will talk about Control.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, basically, me, Danny, and Stefan started. Well, I started a server so that we could all play together.
The
Uh,
Omeo.
yeah, Feed the Beast Omnia. It's the newest mod pack that came out with the new Feed the Beast launcher that came out.
The app.
Yeah, they call it the Feed the Beast app now, or desktop app, rather than a launcher. And when they released this, they also released this mod pack, which is running pretty much the latest Minecraft version with pretty much every mod that's available.
Mm.
And they're just constantly adding as many mods as they can as they get updated to this version of Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
Still need Tinker's Craft.
yeah, it still needs quite a few mods that we're used to.
That's why we're having the extra bit of challenge at the moment. We're
Trying
finding the alternative ways around.
Trying to figure out how to move items around and through worlds and stuff like that. Like with all the other mod packs that we played, they always had the same core mods that we always stuck to and we were comfortable with. This one has
like
a
the
few
Ender chest.
Yeah. This one has a few of them, but doesn't have some of them, and it's just like it's a big learning curve. And
Yeah, it's been a workaround.
we're
You've
getting
been
there.
doing a lot of workaround. I haven't really done much except for I did how much storage did I upgrade by?
Yeah, you did a lot of storage upgrades while I was gone. But
Yeah, you asked me to do storage upgrades. Storage upgrade from 20k to 320k.
yeah, but that's how you play Minecraft. You like to be given a task and you do it.
If I don't have a task, if I don't have a task to do, I don't really get. It's like you didn't give me a task before you left, so I haven't really played Minecraft.
Yeah, there wasn't much there until they start adding a few more mods. There really isn't much more we can do, like unless they add some more bosses or something like that. All we really have
Well, we
is
need
to
to.
get shulkers.
Steph's got his shulker armor now. I've got the angel. I've got the halo.
The
I like
Halo?
halo. Steph gave me the halo because his flying was a bit off. But you can have creative fly with a halo. That's and it goes on your neck thing and it gives you creative fly.
Oh,
You need those electric wings.
yeah.
From the end. That a whole bunch of diamonds and a whole bunch of other shit, and you can make the angel ring or whatever it's called.
Oh,
That gives you creative fly. That's how I've got creative fly.
so I'm the only one that doesn't have creative fly right now. Racists. That's okay. I was the first one with a jetpack, so.
Well, we need. I think that it's Steph used all the diamonds making the angel halo because he took, I think it's 4 blocks of diamonds, nearly 5
Yeah.
blocks.
I burned through most of the diamonds before I left and didn't set off the miners because I was an asshole.
But yeah, basically we're really struggling on diamond front. And you're going to need dry ice at some point, so we need to find you a new dry ice biome to mine out.
Pretty good for dry ice right now.
Yeah, but you did mine out my entire mine. That entire chunk.
There's still more.
Not really. Not in
There's
that
always
chunk.
more. There's always more, Danny.
You're close to fucking hitting the bottom of the ocean. So you
Yeah,
can't go
but I
higher.
can still go further out. I didn't go through the whole cold ocean. Anyways, on to control. They don't need to hear about this craziness.
Oh, you want to hear about this craziness? Okay. So,
We're not. We didn't infiltrate a building that's hidden to the world called Old House. That just happens to have world altering items, random objects that alter stuff.
so
yeah,
let's
you
just
go.
slightly rewind it just a bit.
Okay.
Just as to what control is before we go for the story of control.
As I Google it.
Yeah, so it's a third person action shooter with RPG elements.
And puzzles and stuff.
Yeah, that was released by Remedy Games, creators of Alan Wake, and Quantum Break, and they sort of like have their experimental way of storytelling in their games. And Control, as Steve stated, you infiltrate a place called the Oldest House, a giant brutalist skyscraper in the middle of New York that no one can see.
Perception filters.
Yeah.
Unless you know the building exists, that you're not meant to be able to get into it due to perception filters.
Yeah, or as one piece of like intel around the area says, people can just accidentally stumble through the front door.
Yeah, and you're meant to ask them what's going on and then send them on the way.
Politely tell them it's a federal building and please leave. Yeah, it's the headquarters of the Federal Bureau of Control, which is not the SCP Foundation. No, it is heavily inspired by that. confirmed by Remedy themselves that some of the people loved the idea of SCP Foundation, which is a community creative writing project about or cataloging items that they call SCPs, which stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. Random stuff from there, including a piece of rebar where if you weren't staring at it, it would close into you and break your neck. Or an infinite IKEA store that once you walk through the front door would extend everywhere, and there'd be no point in trying to purchase anything and leave because once you've entered, you're there.
Yep. You're stuck. I'm still finding it weird that some of the random objects that are there's random objects that are alt word or an object. Like one of them's a rubber duck. Just a rubber duck in a room.
Yeah.
There's the rubber duck in a room, and you're like, wait, that's one of the objects that are. What?
Well, yeah. So that's what I mean. In Control, they call them OOPs or objects of power, and events that happen due to either like the misuse or an issue with said object of power is called an alter world event.
Yeah, and the main characters.
Jesse Faden.
Yeah, looking for a brother.
Yeah.
Who appeared in they had an oops moment when they were little.
They had apparently found a slideshow projector that could take them to different areas, but the altered world event was some demonic force coming out of it and killing the town of Ordinary.
Yep.
No lie, the town of Ordinary.
Yeah, they just came from an ordinary town, and they're the only survivors of Ordinary.
Yeah. And he was dragged away. She went on the run and has spent the rest of her time to infiltrate this building to take him out, but gets caught in a internal lockdown of the facility due to an otherworldly entity called the Hiss.
Oh, she calls them the Hiss because they make a high-pitched sound. And assuming now that she's the director, they just went, yep, we'll roll with that term.
What she says goes. She tries to confront the original director of the facility who shot himself in the head because he couldn't take it anymore.
Well,
I'm guessing there is story plot points later on that show that he was more prepared than he'd like to admit.
It's more what the gun is required than anything.
Yeah, plays like an action third-person shooter. Other than that,
and I did find out that did you click onto the fact that our gun that we have, it says it could have been it's most likely been Mjolnir at one point.
Service weapon might have been the hammer that Thor used.
Basically, it's been around since ancient times, but it's took each time it takes a different form.
I have a new challenge for the podcast listeners. If you can understand what Danny's saying, you can win the prize of knowing what Danny said.
But yeah, the service weapon in Control is the weapon that you use. It says previous forms. One of them was Mjolnir from Thor.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah. But it's your main form of combat. Well, I say main. It's your starting form of combat. You then learn like supernatural abilities once you've proved yourself to the board, which can only be described as a giant black pyramid that spends actually most of its time breaking the fourth wall because all its dialogue has a slash in it. So it'd be like pick up the gun / prop, or it's like proceed through this challenge / game. So it's like speaking to Jesse in one form and speaking to the player at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the telekinetic power was a giant floppy disk.
Well, yeah, that's one of the objects of power is a floppy disk that had the ability to telekinetically throw stuff around. So the first thing you had to do was catch up to it when some poor sloppy Joe guy gets killed by a flying mail tube.
Yeah. We seem to be able to control multiple things of power to a degree that no one else has been able to even achieve.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing on it, and that makes you an interest for the people of the FBC, but sort of also makes you.
I don't want to ruin any more plot points because I know a bit more than you because I'm now got through R&D. and I'm in the next area after that.
Whereas
so I'm 2
I've
areas
only
ahead
got
of you.
where have I got through executive, and I'm in the middle of the maintenance area with the friendly janitor Auntie, who I'm not stupid, game, by the way. He obviously hears what she's saying.
Mm.
It's classic because there's these points where Jessie's dialogue in the game is all over the place.
Because she's talking in her own head to us and to the other person all at the same time.
It's like this. There's this sort of, I can only assume, object of power or something. This like weird circly, spirally thing. I don't know the name of it because it's never mentioned, or at least it's not been mentioned so far to me.
Yeah, you'll find it in the next chapter.
Yeah, but it'll just flash up on the screen, and when it flashes up on the screen, Jessie immediately responds to it. But she's also speaking to us, the player, and to the people around in the oldest house. But the janitor, Auntie, or Artie, is he? Something like that?
I don't know, he speaks Russian and Romanian or something.
He speaks, as he does. And what happens on that is that she'll say something. It's just like, Artie is a guy that looks like he has a friendly face. So he's speaking to the player. Or she's speaking to the player. And then suddenly Artie goes, I've had many faces. And it's like, what?
Yeah, there's got to be more to Auntie at some point.
Yeah.
Because he's a janitor, quote unquote.
Yeah. But, combat involves running around, shooting stuff when it appears, when it locks you in rooms where it's kill or be killed. You use your special abilities to kill stuff. You use the gun to kill other stuff. Learn their weaknesses and their weak spots, which you'll get through intel files.
It's like the quickest way to deal with the shield dudes, by the way, Ryan, is just to lob a piece of granite at them.
Oh, I know that.
Just trying to shoot the shield off them is a pain in the ass.
No, it was more okay, I will admit this. I obviously didn't find the optimal strategy on how to kill the flying hiss boss when you end up in the mailroom.
I died the first time. The first time I got flattened by him. And then the second time I went, hide behind wall and throw stuff at him. And then shoot him.
Yeah. So, yeah. But if you like good combat with weird story, Control.
Yeah, it's is that what we've talked about?
I
know I was rambling for a while. We've been doing a lot of rambling in memory lane at the moment.
We managed to talk about it. We got to some description of a game. Very, very briefly, played Ghost Recon Breakpoint because it was about a $5, and it's Ghost Recon Wildlands, but strictly worse.
Oh.
So, yeah, fun.
So Wildlands wasn't that great.
So we've done the past.
Was fine.
We've done the past, the present, and maybe a quick look into the future.
Yeah.
Well, the other present thing, slightly past the present thing is the
news story.
Yeah, the news story where.
Oh yeah, we saw that present.
Yeah, that the servers got fucked because everyone was trying to get a free copy of GTA.
Let's rewind slightly again and let's get there. News time.
Yeah, so a little bit into the past.
Yeah, so
apparently Epic Games' free game was GTA 5.
That is from this week.
Yeah, it was a
GTA 5 Premium Edition.
Yes,
for $41 million.
Oh yeah, and guess who wanted it? Everyone. As I think, as someone said on Twitter at some point, it's like, how can it be that a 7-year-old game that everyone has got, including my grandmother, can still take down a server?
It's why
because now you get to download it again and have a brand new account.
Well, no. It's why when I've been playing GTA the last few days, it's been god awful. The last few days has been brutal. Server side, anyway. It's mixed with the lag and the fact that it's like there's now 100 billion people in your lobby. It's like, go away, people. It's like, no, you're gonna have people in your lobby. It's like, oh.
Well, I guess it's clever marketing by Epic and Rockstar again. I mean, given into this, so anyone who's been around or known about Epic for the sort of 18 months that it's been out now, is that every Thursday they would give away a game for free into your library. And it could be a small game, it could be a big game, it could be multiple games. But recently, what they did for this is they said they were going to give games for at least 2020, and they'd be sort of reevaluating whether it was good for business or not each year. What they did at the end of April is they stopped showing people what the next free game was.
It's just a mystery game that comes out every
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, so it just unlocks, and someone had spilled the beans a day before that it was going to be GTA, and that's sort of what happened there. Someone had found it. It was like someone spilled the beans, or an advert went out too early, and Epic hastily deleted the tweet. Fast forward to 4 o'clock in the afternoon UK time on
Epic break.
May the 13th or the 14th or something like that. Yeah, May the 14th, and the servers went down for 8 hours. It was tough because they also opened up a May sale, which is where we got Control from.
Yeah, the Epic's got a. Yeah, that's the weird thing with that one as well. You get a £10 coupon every time you buy a game that's over £15. You get a £10 coupon to get it off, and then once you've done that, you get another coupon if it was over the £15 anyway.
That
So
and
it kind of perpetuates.
well, yeah, it perpetuated business. I mean, because actually considering it, the first coupon you get is free
Because you get it for getting GTA
for just
free.
logging on.
I got it when I claimed GTA for the fun of it.
Maybe it was checking the store for the first time, one or the other, but irrelevant really because you got the free
Yeah, we got
thing.
the coupon.
But yeah,
And the coupon
every
is
time
now
you do it, you get another.
if you spend over £15 on the game.
Yeah, I'm on my third coupon. That's nice. If the value of the game is £15, well, to use the token required you to play on a game that was £15 or more before the coupon was applied.
Mm.
You could just keep going.
Yep.
Until you bought a game that was less than because.
Yeah, but all of that money is still going back to Epic, which is why they don't care.
Yeah.
I mentioned that to you, didn't I, Dee, at the time that it was like
it's ingenious almost.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how quickly people's resolve for the Epic Games boycott disappeared. You will never see me buy an Epic game ever again. They're awful. They're owned by Tencent. They're Chinese. It's Chinese stuff. They did all this. Oh, GTA 5. Sweet.
Or even just the free game. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just have the Epic launcher and get a free game.
That's what I was generally doing. I bought Control because I watched you play Control for 5 minutes. I went, ooh.
Yeah, it's a weird ass game, and that's why. But the other thing that had come up, according to this Verge post or this Verge news story, is that it didn't just affect the Epic Store. So I had a nice little laugh here. It also affected Battle Breakers, their mobile puzzle game, and it also affected Fortnite.
Oh god. Yeah, because people wouldn't be able to get onto the Epic store to play Fortnite.
Just play it through the Rockstar launcher, isn't it?
Fortnite's a Epic game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and assuming the servers were fucked, it would have fucked Fortnite over.
Yeah, because it's sending so many downloads, it's screwing everything up.
Oh yeah.
The servers would have just basically gone.
So it was fun. It was fun. So yeah, that's the little bit of news story. Now Terry did mention and alluded to past, present, and future.
So what's the future?
Yeah.
Well, I brought up an idea that I've been thinking about for about a week, but I've been into Minecraft. I didn't want to push onto a new game. Well, not a new game. I'm going back into an old game that I can't get over this game. I love it dearly. Space Engineers.
You love
I want to
Space
do
Engineers.
I want to do another survival world, and Danny's really the only person that plays it with me. Stefan occasionally logs in and does nothing and then logs out.
Well, that's if we've got a build project. Or there's a thing in mind, then I'll join you with. It's like with most games, Terry, innit? I'll join you if there's something in mind in particular.
Yeah, if there's a point to it, you'll join pretty much. You need some sort of goal. You're not a big fan of just creative games if you don't have a goal.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking of this one idea.
You want to build a base, don't you, or something?
The main point of this is I want to have a mobile base. So it's going to start out as a really big vehicle, It's going to be semi-maneuverable, probably have drills in the front of it, and so it can gather some of its own stone and ice rather than us trying to mine it and fill it with smaller
Is this going
vehicles.
to turn into a flying Atlantis at some point?
Pretty much. My end game for it is to have it start as a mobile vehicle. We'll probably start on an ice lake close to an edge of it so it can mine stone, it can mine ice, so it can maintain itself. And then as we get more advanced, I'm planning on having the drills so they can move up and down. So we should be able to tunnel into a cave to get decent amount of stone.
Yeah. Because the thing that we found out last time is the veins are underground a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about veins. We're gonna need shit tons of stone. I am gonna be running one mod in this time, and that's
Okay.
a
Do I need to
concrete
download the
tool.
mod?
It should automatically download it when you go to try to join the server.
Okay.
It's just basically it gives us the ability to use gravel to make terrain, like smooth out the terrain.
Okay.
That
Because
way,
that was a big problem last time.
yeah, trying to build platforms to build on is a nightmare.
Because you have to weld it and then it spazzes out if you don't. And then if
Yeah,
something
where
happens.
this uses resources that we barely ever have any use for, which is gravel. But yeah, I want to get more to the plan of this. Is you start with this car, really big car, basically with the refinery and everything you need on it. And my end game is to try to get it to every planet and moon, because there's an achievement that not a lot of people have got in this game called Explorer. Visit all planets and moons in survival mode. So I'd like this car to be able to take off and land on planets and moons.
That also means it needs to be FTL. Because the only way to get to the planet and moons
Is
and
to jump.
is the FTL jumps.
Yep.
What
So
is
it's gonna be a bitch, but it'll be fun. I think it'll give us a task.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy by any stretch of the means. Getting to the moon's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the first time, because I think we have to get a certain resource from space before we can even get the jump drives.
Yeah, it's
I think
platinum.
platinum or something. Yeah, I don't think we can get platinum on.
Well, platinum's a bitch to find on surface.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping for is that.
And then it needs to be big enough. Yeah, but how? Then we have to calculate the weight because it's going to be so fucking heavy. How we're going to get it out of orbit?
Use up most of our ice before we go anywhere. We'll figure it out.
I don't know
because it's gonna be an experience.
It will be an experience.
It's going to be frustrating as hell, but fun.
But entertaining.
So that'll probably be what we talk about next week.
Indeed.
If we've got anywhere with it, and if we haven't had an aneurysm by that point.
Chances are, I think I could sort of foresee the biggest problem we're gonna have, and that's the fact that our base moves. And when we have a base that moves, I can just see it destroying itself, getting stuck in a hole, blowing up, crashing.
Because gravity, not gravity,
anything.
Those block errors.
Yeah, physics.
Oh.
I am pretty good at avoiding those block errors now. I know what I'm doing when I'm only going to be making one multiple grid, or actually no, there's going to be a couple multiple grids on this thing, so I got to be careful. But
yeah, there's it's the physics of the game is
the game
brutal.
has some pretty broken physics.
You're gonna have so much use of the technical difficulties music.
Oh yeah, basically in this game, I might try to record some of it.
But now there's that internal. It's like when we create that thing and it just creates an internal error and just sends it flying like 3 billion miles.
Yeah,
like,
basically,
why?
There's a bit of weird physics. Every time you have a moving part, so say part of your ship wants to rotate, you put it on a rotor. Well, the part that rotates counts as a second grid or a second ship even. It's connected via that rotor, but it's a second grid. And if that grid has any contact with the other grid, they have collisions. Sometimes the physics doesn't take those collisions very well, and what might it may start to fly off the world or spin out of control
Or
or
explode.
exploding is usually the better thing to do, because if it just starts spinning out of control, there's almost nothing you can do. If it explodes, you can deal with it and repair whatever survives.
Just creates a huge fuck off crater. That's
Yeah.
happened before. It's just flown off
Or
and
when-
created a huge crater.
Yeah, or like when I managed to break the weight physics somehow. I cut off some of the blocks, and for some reason, it still thought they were connected, so the center of mass was way off. And
Yeah.
like I had cut just a few blocks off of a base that had some huge storage containers in it with a lot of ice in it, which has made it really heavy. And these blocks then plummeted into the ground and just drilled their way through because they had quote unquote so much mass to them.
That's the ice lake incident.
Yes, that was the ice lake incident.
You just like, he's like, tear it. It's like, that it. Like, whoa.
It was one hell of
Okay.
a hole that it drilled.
Yeah, it just created a huge fuck off crater.
Just random armor blocks that had a glitched mass. Just fucking. Yep. It looked like a meteor had struck.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because of there's a lot of random physics bullshit that you go.
Yeah,
It's
this
like-
game's been out for a long time, but it still has its fun bugs, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if it has a spectacular moment, it's epically spectacular at times. It's like you had this block and you're like, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Oh,
It broke.
it
Bum,
broke.
bum, bum.
Yeah,
Here it
no,
goes.
the best part about it is like when you accidentally cut your ship in half, there's absolutely no chance you're getting them back together.
Nope.
There's like it
It's
just
like
it
like
just
when-
doesn't happen.
It's like if one of the blocks explodes. Say the
Yep.
container explodes and you've got the container in the middle. Like how can I describe it?
I got a better physics for you. I understand where you're going, where it basically shatters your whole craft. But
Yep.
the main reason it does that is because for some reason, say a cargo container is a 3x3. Sorry, a 3x3x3, because we're in a 3D grid.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff it can store, if you're mining ice or any ore, stone, whatever, if you fill that container, the giant rock that will come out of it if it breaks is bigger than the container.
Yep.
So
'Cause-
if you have a shell around your storage container of armor blocks, and somehow the voxels bend and destroy that container, well, all of a sudden this giant rock appears inside your craft and destroys it from the inside out.
Yep.
I like to call it that the storage containers have a vacuum compression kind of thing.
It's got some kind of like pocket dimension, almost.
Yeah, basically it's like a
And once the
compression.
container breaks, the pocket dimension breaks, and this big fuck off boulder comes out. It's like,
Just some sort of
Oh.
compression storage or something.
yeah, it just creates this giant fuck off boulder. It's like, hi, bye base.
Or it's always better when they go flying, like chunks of rock go flying everywhere, and like you're just like, where is that gonna land?
And there goes like that.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I
You with that fucking forklift.
the forklift. This little
Right.
tiny. I guess
on.
we should.
Should be wrapping
We managed to flip so many vehicles that I had to design a vehicle to reflip other vehicles because they
Jesus
kept landing
Christ.
upside down. And so I designed this little tiny vehicle that could lock itself onto the ground and use pistons to just basically lift just about anything. And yeah, I've done some pretty crazy things with that, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. A lot of the times it didn't.
Yeah, and it just left a big fuck off hole. It's like both vehicles got blown to smithereens.
Yeah, like the times that I tried to lift vehicles by their cargo container.
Yeah, you hit the cargo container, it sets off the internal thing, and then just goes boom.
Anyways, I think that's enough
Space engineers.
Space Engineers craziness until next week.
Until basically, if you haven't played Space Engineers, it's slow growing, but can be fun.
Oh, well, give that a try and we'll see what that talks about next week. I assume it'll end in explosions. In fact, it'll probably start in explosions, won't it?
There'll be
Most likely.
explosions somewhere in the way.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily start, but definitely within the first half hour, I'm sure there's be at least one explosion.
Or you'll hear one of us go, "Oops."
Damn it!
Yeah, damn it, or oops.
Oh, classic.
Or it'll be me going, Danny!
And I'm like,
Just
Terry.
drifting out into space as you do it. It's like, Danny!
No, you're like that. You're like, darn it, and it's normally he's done something. He's done
Yeah.
goo. And
It's like,
there's
Danny,
something-
don't look! Danny, don't look! Look away, Danny!
Because if I've just spent like an hour and a half building a space for Terry to blow it up in 10 seconds.
Yep. That's happened a few times.
It's just how it works, isn't it?
I do like a good hour and a half, 2 hours, like solid building time. Terry blows it up in 5 minutes.
Classic. Right, well, we best get to wrapping this up then, because we've been going for nearly an hour.
Okay, so yeah, we need to do the whole like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and all that jazz.
Yeah, which you've just done.
Once again, if you can understand Danny, you get brownie points.
Like, share, subscribe, share all the videos, leave comments, give thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care. It's engagement. And yeah.
And we love you all.
Yeah, we do that. And look forward to next week where we talk about space engineers and the explosions thereof. So, until next time, thank you to Terry and Dee. And Terry seems to have died. Oh, no, wait, there he is.
I had to copy Danny.
And until
And
next
the villagers are signing off.
week. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Ah.
Oh.